Hello, I'm John King.
And I'm Ben Waddams.
And welcome to BogWatch. We're here at Mearfest, a celebration of everything that's very special about this part of the UK. It's an area with some very interesting habitats.
Yes, that's quite right. And what we're looking at today, we've got a whole day dedicated to the mears and the mosses. We're looking at the history, the communities that are involved with them and around them and that help to protect them. And we're also going to be speaking to specialists throughout the day, experts in their field, to look at the wildlife and all the other issues surrounding the mears. It's going to be a great day, and we really hope that you can stay with us as long as possible.
Well, the mere here at Ellesmere is a very popular site for visitors. I've been here many times with my children when they were much younger, and of course one of the great traditions is feeding the ducks. I have to confess that very often, like many other people, we've fed bread to the ducks, but we know much more about ecosystems now and how they work, and maybe that wasn't such a good idea. We're joined now by Daphne Duck, who's something of an expert on the case. What's so bad about feeding bread to ducks?
Well, it's not good for the ducks themselves. It can cause a lot of health problems, but it's also not very good for the environment either. So it's a twofold thing. As you say, when people were younger, then they used to feed bread to the ducks. They didn't think anything was wrong with it. But now we know different, and we are just trying now to breaducate people to give them alternatives that they can actually feed ducks instead of bread.
And what happens when we feed bread to ducks, and what's going wrong?
Well, especially if you're feeding bread, it will float to the bottom of the water, and then it will cause algae. It stops the sunlight getting in, so it's not good for the pond life, and it's not good for the stuff that actually grows in the ponds either.
So where you see a sort of a deep sort of dark greeny colour to ponds traditionally, that isn't necessarily natural? Is
not always, no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to give you an example, we started off the campaign at Appley Woods, and we had the Environment Agency with us. We were working on Love Your River project, and we measured the ammonia in the pool, and it was really high. And we asked the Environment Agency, why is this? And they said, well, it's basically duck poo. The more bread that ducks eat, the more they poo, the more ammonia you get in the water. So we started a campaign asking people not to feed bread to the ducks, giving them the alternatives. And 3 months later, we got the Environment Agency back down again to measure the ammonia levels in the pool, and it was 70% less in 3 months.
So you're saying about alternatives. What other things can people feed them?
Well, there's lots of things that people have just got at home. So I mean, most people have got wild bird food, defrosted frozen peas, porridge oats. You can obviously buy specialist duck food. And even cabbage, shredded cabbage. A lot of people will just cut bits off the edge of the cabbage that they're not going to cook for themselves, just shred it up, keep it, beet runner beans, anything like that, with vegetable peelings, and just feed that to the ducks, and it's much better for them.
So how did you get involved, Daphne?
Well, as I say, I work with the Friends of Appley Woods, and we started working on Love Your River. We had the problem with our pond. We decided to start this campaign to stop, to try and prevent people feeding bread, giving them the alternatives. And anything like this, you need a bit of a gimmick. So Daphne Duck came out of that just to kind of grab people's attention, and I think she probably has.
Very fetching, I have to say. So the message really is think twice before you take the bread to the.
Well, yeah, I think it's just education. People they're not deliberately feeding bread knowing that it's bad. They just don't know. So if we can educate people on the alternatives, then your problem's solved, really.
And I do know here at Ellesmere you can actually buy proper feed for
that's right,
ducks. I think that's true at Telford Town Park as well.
Right, I don't know about up there.
I think they can there too.
But there's so many things you can just bring from home that you've got anyway. I mean, most people have got porridge oats or peas, so.
Recycling.
Exactly.
Excellent. Daphne, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much indeed.